You've probably heard the term microaggression before. Depending on where it's been introduced to you, whether thrown around casually with friends or more formally in a working environment, you may have a preconceived notion or still be left wondering what it really means. In order to answer the question, let's start by stripping down the buzzwordy nature of this term. Merriam-Webster defines a microaggression as a comment or action that subtly and often unconsciously or unintentionally expresses a prejudiced attitude towards a member of a marginalized group, such as a racial minority, while Oxford Learner states that an act or remark that discriminates against one or more members of a minority group either deliberately or by mistake. Blending these two up into a colloquial smoothie gives us something like this. A microaggression is when someone says or does something prejudiced or discriminatory against a person or people in a marginalized and/or minority group, and it may or may not be on purpose. Both the formal dictionary definitions and the one just mentioned might seem fairly straightforward. So why is there confusion around what microaggressions are? Where is this disconnect coming from? There is one key piece that leads to the perhaps unfairly deemed controversial status of a microaggression, that the prejudice or discriminatory act may be unintentional. It is entirely possible that someone who says something prejudiced or discriminatory doesn't realize that what they said is exactly that. They may be coming from a place of intended humor or accidental misinformation. And while intention is an important factor, it shouldn't act as a get-out-of-jail-free card. So how should a microaggression be addressed? One of the largest problems with addressing microaggressions is the failure of involved parties to acknowledge that something is in fact prejudiced or discriminatory, even if that wasn't the original intention. That being said, when needing to address someone who has just used the microaggression, it's likely worthwhile to proceed as though it was unintentional, especially if it's in a formal or work-type environment. This might feel like a common courtesy, but it really creates grounds for an open, benefit of the doubt, and information-based conversation. It should also help eliminate anyone from feeling attacked or alienated. Here are some other ways to further conversation and ultimately promote empathy. Ask for clarification. Say, "What did you mean by that?" Or "Why do you think that?" Acknowledge that there may be a disconnect between the intention behind what has been said and the impact of the statement or the action. Say, "I understand that you were joking around by saying that, but I want to express how hurtful that can be." You can also challenge the microaggression by offering other perspectives or facts. And in the cases where someone insists that they didn't mean it like that, circle back. So do you always have to get involved? Your response and level of participation is likely to vary depending on the unique situation, the context, and the type of relationship that you have with the individual. While it's important to speak up, if you are concerned that responding could lead to a larger issue or put you in danger, you always have the right to remove yourself from the situation. Our hope is that getting involved helps you disarm microaggressions and ultimately seek to understand each other on a deeper level.